Oh, we've just found out some
Breaking
jaw-dropping news from MJ. We had the first time last week we had iced water in here, and
It was a great addition.
Jeez, it was good.
collectively we all complimented MJ. It was one of the best innovations that we've had on this podcast, and then we found out it's one and done.
Yeah. So, and what's the reason for it?
The ice machine was making too much noise.
No, the actual ice
in the cup.
in the glasses during the edit of the podcast. It was clinking around. So the ice made its
During
debut.
the 2 sips we had throughout the 40 minutes.
So by me doing that and shaking it around.
Yeah,
Wow.
interesting.
Who would have
I
thought?
wonder if we had any feedback about the ice.
I doubt it.
Send it in if you have, but
Yeah. But anyway, you won't hear it this week. We're back to
that's
lukewarm.
disappointing.
We're back to
Lukewarm water.
It's been sitting there for... Anyway. We appreciate the water.
So, as we all know, This or That is just like a absolute stable, rock solid piece of our show.
Yeah.
But Ben, just to let everyone know, we have a WhatsApp group for the podcast, and Ben threw a bit of a spanner in the works late this afternoon, saying he'll take over This or That.
No, I didn't say I didn't say take over. I
I'll
said
find the exact word.
Yeah, let's get the word in right.
But yeah, This or That has been like the proverbial banner that we run
Yeah,
through to
that's right.
start the podcast.
yeah, and I'm not overtaking that. I'm offering an alternative on top of that.
Did it need that? I don't know.
Ben said, I've got a version of This or That
Yeah.
that we can do on top of the normal one. On top of the normal
Yeah,
one.
I'm happy to do the normal one.
Oh, so it's on top of the normal one. Okay.
Yeah.
He did then follow up with or instead of.
Yeah. Well, no one
Or
replied.
definitely. And then just left unread.
Like normal.
Well, you go for it.
I'll
mate.
I'll go first.
And if it's horrible, we'll just do a normal this
Yeah, well, it has an
Okay.
opener, so
Okay.
Yeah.
This or that.
I was hoping it was going to be like Ben's version or something.
Well,
Yeah,
in the
no.
post, that'll happen. Don't worry about that.
in post.
So mine's called real or fake. So same thing.
Oh,
I'll give you 2 variations, and you've got to guess what the word is.
I really like it.
So the theme is country. So I'm going to give you 2 words. One's a real country, and one's a fake country.
Great.
Simple as. You got that, Harry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Right. Here we go.
You don't like being in Harry's hot seat.
Exactly.
Tables
Chink in his
turn.
armour here. All right. So the first word.
Is it just one, or is it?
What do you mean one?
Is it just like-
you're naming one country?
No. I've got 2 words. One's a real country, one's fake. So you got to tell me which one you think is the real one and which one's the fake one.
Sure.
Right. So first one, it's spelled P-S-E-U-D-O, pronounced pseudo. If you want to go again.
What?
P-S-E-U-D-O. So
Correct. Pronounced pseudo. Or Togo, spelled T-O-G-O.
Togo's real.
For reference,
Yeah,
yeah,
Togo's real.
you're right. You didn't know that.
Yes, I did.
No, you
He
didn't.
said it first.
Well, what's your reasoning then?
No, I just know it's in
Togo's African, isn't it?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know where it was.
I swear on my life. That's why I said it.
Oh, well done.
It was in one of the. It was in a movie recently.
Was it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, there you go.
Bad luck, Ben.
No,
It's like,
I like the
That's part of
concept.
the game.
I like the concept, but
We
it
could
probably-
alternate. We could alternate.
yeah.
this
No,
or
I
that
reckon we
or
just go
whatever.
this. Or that.
You had
Do
one
you want
ready.
this or that?
But you
Yeah.
don't do any of your homework, so
So do.
not even organised.
Let's do with it.
Okay.
WHIFFET.
E-T?
ET. Yep.
Wow.
E for
Strange looking word.
with it.
Not your best one. Hang on.
A 19th century American word for small dog, or a wooden flute style instrument popular in the Middle East.
All right, I'm in.
And a reason as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Ben?
I'll go instrument.
I am also saying the flute because I think you have tried to throw us off the scent with a whippet.
Right.
Oh, whoever has written this question
me,
has
yeah,
tried to do.
Yeah,
So I'm going the
I was
flute.
gonna say that as well.
Well, you are both wrong.
Oh, no!
Yeah. The committee's in good form here.
Yeah, the
2 out of
committee's-
3.
the committee's
I
on
would
fire.
love to get my stats on this across 2.5 years.
It wouldn't be a good reading.
I reckon I've got 5 right.
For 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, we're doing remarkably poorly.
That's why I wanted
So
to
you know
change
how-
the game. Because
Yeah.
I'm
In,
just
in theory, when you flip a coin right, you could have got the last 100 wrong, but every time you flip the coin, you're a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, it's got no memory.
When Ben rocks up for this or that, what do you think the odds are?
He's coming in at a
In theory, it
25.
should be 50-50, but I really wouldn't. It'd
Yeah.
have to be 25.
Yeah.
You're right. They're 60-40 my way. You're right.
We'll start with a question. So this is from Bryce.
G'day, lads. Bryce from Bairnsdale. I know you guys aren't on social media a lot, so I was just hoping Rolo or MJ could show Ben the photo that the AFL just posted on Facebook of the AFL26. Just wanting to get your thoughts on that. Cheers, boys. Love the potty, as always.
Good on you, Bryce. So I had seen
I have seen
This
this.
is brilliant.
and I shot it straight through to MJ and make sure we've got this ready. So the AFL...
So why isn't Bobby Hill's mark the mark of the year on
That's
it?
what we were discussing outside as
Correct.
well. The AFL 26 video game features Ben in the trailer very prominently.
Wow, that's great, Ben. Congratulations.
Yeah.
As a stepladder
As a
for
stepladder.
Jamie Elliott.
I
But
reckon they've nailed it. Like how
you think they've nailed it? Wait till you see the video version that
I
dropped
haven't-
just
I
an
haven't seen the
hour
video.
ago. Here we
It's a
go.
video
Yeah,
version.
there's a video version which we can play on loop in here, which is great. And you know how
Gets up high.
Let me film
and
this.
manages to hold on. Sensational. Gets up high and manages to hold on. Sensational. Gets
Thanks,
up
Hutto.
high and manages
thanks,
to
Hutto.
hold on. Sensational.
And you
Gets
know,
up
sometimes
high
with these-
and manages to hold
sometimes with these video games, sometimes the likeness doesn't really get captured, but they've nailed it. It's
Well, they got the ball wrong.
unmistakably.
The ball
Ben.
was wrong. It was a yellow ball.
yeah, that is true.
Oh, good call.
So
but it
yeah,
does
bad
look
luck.
quite like Ben though.
Yeah.
muscular, good looking. Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah. Got
They've
the
given him
haircut,
more hair as well.
nice trim. Oh, great mark, Jamie.
Yeah,
But
true.
why didn't they put Bobby's mark, the mark of the year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even the mark of the year.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
wasn't even the best mark in this anyway.
Oh, don't read into it. But
Depends who you ask.
yeah, terrific start. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bryce.
Well done, Bryce. But the Bombers, nice win on Thursday night. It was a thriller in the end
It was, yeah.
against your old club.
Was it 2 points? 3 points? Whatever it
3
was?
points in the end,
Um,
back- going back to Thursday night. We were saying a very controversial game in the lead up with Kane Collins. And I mean, I assume that had no impact on your preparation whatsoever.
No, not at all. I heard about it, but
Yeah.
didn't obviously affect our camp at all. I'm not sure, obviously what the North boys thought of it all, but it was we started pretty hot. I think we kicked the first 3 or 4 of the
Yeah.
game, and we're looking good early. And then I think our challenge at the moment is, we were playing well and taking the game on, especially early, and then for whatever reason, just we probably when the game's there to be sort of put away a little bit, like we're not maximising those opportunities. So we're sort of giving teams or letting them back in, and any team in the AFL, they're all good enough to take that opportunity. So especially when we the first quarter and a half when we had the game looking like we wanted to, so that was disappointing. I think when the game was in the death and neck and neck, our ability to grind that out and win was really positive. So it was probably just that middle phase where we probably left some goals out there and gave a couple of sort of simple sort of goals up as well. At the other end was disappointing, but I think as we said last week, there's no easy beat, and North were far from that, and it was in the end a good game of footy. So
Absolutely.
but I think from our point of view, we were just frustrated that when the game was there to be sort of put away, we didn't make the most of that opportunity, which is disappointing. Yeah, but we won. Like again, we
win's a win.
sound like
Absolutely,
it's
On the winners
horrible,
list.
but
Is 2025 Zach Merrett the best player you've played with, you think?
He's a gun.
He's
Yeah, it would have to be.
extraordinary. And
Yeah.
that last 5 minutes we were just talking about,
yeah,
he was
Oh, yeah.
it just popped up
He's
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, I think I may have said it before, but his two-way efforts, obviously he gets so much of the ball, but his defensive efforts and intent, that's what catches my mind. And when I first joined the club, his ability to run both ways and value defense, if not higher than offense, and that might sound silly because he gets 35, 40 every week, but his ability to value defense is the best I've ever seen in terms of the top line midfielder. And you can tell that's why he's always around the ball, offense and defense. He's just, he's phenomenal to watch live. And we're very lucky to have him. So, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, he's probably the best player I've played with for sure, especially this version of him in this year. But then he's just like Harry would be the same with Cripper. Like those stars just get better and better every year. And it's just incremental, but like it adds up over time. So, I think if we didn't have Zach, I don't reckon we would have sung the song after the game for sure.
A couple of Bombers fans have dropped questions on the socials, so we'll start with one from Belinda.
Hi Ben, it's Belinda from Lakes Entrance. I was just wondering, how was it to play against your old team And did you hear all the boos? Go Bombers.
Thanks, Linda. I think it was certainly easier this time round for sure. I think we mentioned last week that I reckon it'd always be a fraction weird, but like anything, the more you experience it, the easier it gets to a degree. So I think pre-game and you're sort of thinking about how to all flow and work and whether you cross paths with or who you cross paths with, etc. But yeah, that was fine. Like I literally within the first 3 minutes, it was like this is just a normal game. Whereas probably this time last year, it felt that for most of the game. But I mean, I think it was like 12 or 13 players I played with that played on Thursday night, and the other 10 or so, I had nothing to do with. So that probably contributed to that. But no, I didn't notice the boos to be honest, which is probably a good thing because you focus on the game. So
Do you notice boos? Have either of you noticed? I mean,
yeah, I know. I was getting Bronx cheered in the first 3 or 4 weeks, so I noticed that.
I mean, we haven't spoken about that because we weren't here for the pod.
Yeah. I think the best way I've sort of described it is like 90% of fans are amazing, and you love when they're cheering and bringing that atmosphere. And Harry can attest to that. It's it's like no other when you've got the best fans in the league right behind you. But I think it's the 10% that are mocking a player or whatever it is disappointing, and we don't want that. But it's important to acknowledge the 90% as well, because they're the ones who are there thick and thin and creating a great atmosphere for us. But
and they generally talk about like adrenaline and energy. Like when your fans are like, speaking of like your club fans, are like energetic and vocal and up and about, like you literally feel like you're floating on air. Like when some of our as Carlton supporters, when we're hitting the front last quarter or someone kicks a goal or whatever, and the place is buzzing, like it's the best feeling ever. Like so, I reckon when fans are like channeling positive vibes and getting behind, especially like late in the quarter or late in the game, like you actually the adrenaline that creates is so fun.
Absolutely,
especially like at the G.
Yeah.
Well, not just at the G, but So I reckon, the supporters are amazing when they're like that, and definitely gives you adrenaline energy, which is really cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then you had a really positive moment. I would say your highlight of the season, almost in terms of a moment. That huge tackle. Was it late in the second?
Oh, what's
Turn the course of turnover. Was it Perkins?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good memory. I can't remember too much of it. It was a bit of an instinct thing, but they were sort of out, and it's one, and Harry can attest to this. Like as a player, you got that split second decision to make a call on things, and you've got to live with what happens almost with that. So, I think it's one of those ones you just sort of read and react to the game, and live with the decision. And luckily, was able to stop the play in its track, and we scored. But I mean, those micro decisions are happening every minute. It's nothing. The decision wasn't anything amazing. It's more just the outcome that sort of caused the goal was really good. But
but as I was saying, going from there have been Bronx cheers that you just acknowledged before, which would have been disappointing hearing from your own supporters. But then having a moment like that and having your teammates get around you.
Yeah, I think even from the teammate point of view, I think we've done a lot better this year, especially as defenders. Like you really want to celebrate your moments because, as Harry would know, and everyone as a forward, that's your moment to celebrate and carry on. But like for us defenders, we've been really aware of like how we can generate our own energy, sort of thing. So, and a play like that can really get everyone up and about, especially behind the ball. So, it's a good point. I mean, we don't get to do a celebration necessarily, but it's just like body language and
Ben was running around doing like a 30-32 or something.
He's saluting.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, you don't. You don't get your goals.
No, that's right.
It's true.
But I think any good backline or even team, normally your back 6 and 7 are very close, and that's no different at Essendon. And so when those moments do happen, you really want to get around and create that energy, as you said, and we said, from a fan's point of view and a player point of view, you do have to create that a little bit yourself. So on a moment like that, you really feel that for sure.
Yeah, nice. And speaking of your backline, we also have another question.
Hey Ben and Harry, this is Mustafa from Endeavour Hills. Just a quick one for Ben on the likely inclusion of Lewis Hayes following him being pulled out of VFL. Obviously his AFL debut, a lot to be excited for the Bomber faithful. Your thoughts on him and your thoughts on being able to play with 3 big key backs with you, Zach Reed and Lewis Hayes all being over 199 centimetres. How do you think that'll work in the modern game?
Thanks, Awesome.
This is
Love it.
like
Love
on
it.
the couch.
It's all over it.
Tell us a bit about Lewis Hayes.
Yeah, well, firstly, shout out to Rids. I mean, he did his hammy
Yeah,
in
of
game
course.
100.
God.
So,
Poor bloke.
poor bloke.
Oh,
Yeah, he can't
has
take a trick.
He's one of the more unlucky ones in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah.
those
Yeah,
soft
very
tissues.
diligent, very professional, and yeah, there's not much you can really. You just got to cop it on the chin, and
Yeah.
he's not leaving any stone unturned for sure. But yeah, obviously creates an opportunity. So Hayes is a good young kid. Again, very diligent and wants to get better. And I think again Harry can attest. But when you're working with someone in your own position who's a few years younger, you really get a kick out of working with him and just chatting to him every now and then and watching vision or whatever it is. So if it does go Hayes' way, then I look forward to playing with him. We've got Jaden Laverde as well, who's obviously a seasoned campaigner and been through it all. So whatever way they go, I'm sure they'll make the most of it. But unfortunately, I'm not a coach, so I can't guarantee anything. But I think if it's Hazy, I think whenever someone debuts, it's always a good kick of energy that the group gets. So if it's Hazy's way, great. If it's Jaden's, then I'm sure either one will make the most of their opportunity.
Yeah, nice. And then Carlton, unfortunately, just a bit of a step backwards after a few steps forward over the last few weeks.
Disappointing game for sure. I think that's the first real of our 8 or 9 weeks, whatever we are in, where you're completely beaten in all areas, kind of thing, and didn't bring our strengths, the stuff that we've been really good at for the best part of the whole year. So really disappointing, but got to move on really quick. We got Saints in 6 days on Friday night, so those ones where you didn't bring yourself, or in terms of we didn't bring our strengths as a team. We're always disappointing, but is a bit of a one-off, I reckon. So
Can you guys identify that in the first quarter or half or first 10 minutes, or is it like again for the general public out there something you can feel, or like what's the
as a player, like you can pick up trends or feelings throughout the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a result will happen. Like you could, even as a player, like individually or whatever, like you might feel real flat in the first 10 minutes, but you end up having your best game. So you don't really necessarily read into the feeling of the game too early on. But I think in hindsight, you can look back and say like, oh, well, maybe we were off from the first bounce, or maybe this was a KPI that we weren't, we didn't turn up to play, whatever it is. There's definitely a couple of key areas that we always pride ourselves on that we didn't get right. And hats off to Adelaide, they were really good and they were impressive. But when we don't bring our strengths, it kind of hands it to them. So anyway, we're all had a good week. So it's on Tuesday, but had a good day yesterday. Hopefully, good training tomorrow. And Saints are in some pretty good touch as well. So
Saints are
going
going.
A big game.
I mean, the
it's such an even comp. It's
from all the way up to about fourth now. There's only 2 games separating you from fourth, and one game. Has it been a bit of percentage?
Well, we're nearly halfway through the year. Has it been a closer first half of the year that we can?
In terms of the competition, I feel like it's very similar to last year. I feel like you could throw a blanket over about 14 teams.
I can't remember last year. Yeah, was that what it was like?
Well, Hawthorn lost their first 5, and Brisbane were just
similar.
Just going this time.
Hawthorn 0-5,
0-5, and then those 2 teams
really got moving.
Yeah, really got moving towards the end. So there's still so much to play out, and I think and your percentage is still pretty good, Nick.
Yeah,
it's not alarm bells just yet at Carlton. I'm sure you guys feel the same.
No.
Akira had a great question. So Akira is 10 and sent this question through.
Hi, my name's Akira. I'm from Brunswick. I'm a massive Carlton fan. I'm 10 years old and I've just had my first concussion. So can you talk to me about the mindset you took to the process of recovery?
So this
Thanks
is
for writing in, mate. Great question.
10 and a concussion's a bit scary.
Yeah,
hopefully it wasn't
never
that
like
bad.
hearing that.
No.
Yeah. No,
but at least there's an awareness now, I feel.
Yeah,
like,
which is obviously great, because you think about over the last, since footy's been played, like as in juniors, that probably wouldn't be something that was front of mind, or the awareness piece around that wasn't there. But I hope you're doing all right, mate. They're never fun, concussions. So I think the main thing is just to take your time, and when you're right, you're right. We've both been pretty lucky, but I think I'm not sure what type of medical practitioners are around at the the junior footy club, but just taking time with it. There's no rush to get back, but making sure you're doing all the right things. I think.
What are some of the right things that you?
I was just trying to think.
What's helped you? Is it avoiding screens. Is that
Yeah.
we were talking about that last time?
Yeah. So again, it's a little bit different if you're under 10s, but not doing anything that's you have to concentrate too hard on, and bright lights, screen time. Sometimes even like interacting with people can challenge your mind a bit. So anything that you can just chill out for a couple of days, and then slowly just go through the process of going for a walk, feeling good from that. Go for a run, feeling good from that. Obviously, in the AFL system, there's a very solidified protocol list to follow through, which I'm sure it's a bit different when you're under 10s. But yeah, I think those are the main things. Going through the steps, making sure you're feeling good, giving yourself plenty of time. And looking after yourself. And hopefully that just a one-off and you can get back to it pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, as you said, it's great that there's a higher level of awareness around it, even from a young age. So
Sure.
yeah, hopefully you feel better soon, mate.
I got bucked off a horse when I was 10 and I suffered a concussion. So I think Akira, just if we keep the feet up, have some ice cream, maybe buy afl26 and play as Jamie Elliott.
Take a better hanger than that.
And
I reckon I was similar. I don't think I got a concussion, but I got bitten by a horse when I was about that
Bitten?
age. Yeah.
It's not
Go on then.
It's not a concussion.
Well,
but pretty scary.
Yeah.
Tell
What
the story
happened?
then.
Well, yeah. So the story goes that. What are you saying?
No, it'd be good to hear it again.
So
You've heard them all.
Yeah,
when we
it's
were
probably there.
we were in Long Warrior, so before we were in Warrigal, we had a few acres in Long Warrior, which is like
Yeah.
a town 20 minutes away. We had this paddock, and we had some horses. They weren't our horses, but they were one of the neighbours
Rented the land.
and looked
Yes.
after horses
Yeah,
in our
okay.
paddock. And there was always this one. He was a white horse. His name was Dusty, a grey white kind of horse. And he was a bit of like the psycho of the bunch. Like he was just a little bit, sort of red a bit. Anyway, there was like this small pile of sand in this one paddock, and it must have been mucking around the paddock. And it was a windy day, and I just it was nearly like it was a grass toss. But I picked up a bit of sand and just threw it up.
Matthew Lloyd style.
Matthew Lloyd style, probably, yeah. Maybe I was even doing it. I don't know. And the wind must have got hold of the sand and flew and got in his eye. And then this horse charged at me, knocked me over, and bit me in the back.
You've thrown sand at Dusty.
No,
let's not.
Harry's done this. He's just turned around.
Give some sand at Dusty.
No, not at all.
The Matthew Lloyd and the wind's coming.
It was a windy day, I swear.
Jeez,
That's
you're
the biggest
unlucky.
load of SHI I've ever
Oh,
heard.
mate.
I was there. I remember it.
You were there. I
turned
think you were
around.
laughing when I was crawling on my back.
You got what you deserved.
I had to roll out of the paddock as well with a chunk of
MJ's calling horse shit. He says
swear to God.
I think Dusty had every right. But I don't believe the fact.
We'll put it on
Dusty just- he
socials and we can
Yeah.
He made an
put it to a
assumption.
vote.
He looked over, see me holding some sand. He put two and two together. He made an assumption.
Yeah, it's
can't-
one of you.
Incorrect.
You can't blame him.
You
You can't
was
blame
actually
him. though.
Ben.
It was actually got the wrong twin. Oh, that's funny. One question before we get to Twinners and Losers. We wanted to get to this. So Harry hasn't heard of this at all. I've seen a lot of footy clubs posting this same question. So
Yep.
it's simply, the headline is just one gorilla versus 100 men.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
We love hypotheticals, yes. So that's why we're.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. But it's a big one that's, I think, is it on part of the TikTok crowd?
Yeah. Yep.
We're big on TikTok.
Yep.
So we may as well address it. So who would win? It's a fight to the death. One
Obviously, there's
gorilla.
some unknowns.
It's
Like,
just a no-brainer, isn't it?
I think it's a no-brainer.
but let's just set the tone for a bit. So,
Okay.
So you obviously
Parameters.
you can't pick your 100. You know, there's not.
Oh, so it's a random selection.
It's
It's
a
like
random- you
the
know what I mean?
census.
Yeah.
It's just like a tram full of people.
Yeah.
But they have to be over 18, or are they kids?
Let's say over 18.
Let's say over 18.
Yeah.
But for every personal trainer, you're getting an IT consultant.
But their lives are on the line, right?
Yeah, it's to the death.
Yeah.
No doubt at all the 100 people would win.
It's
Yeah, I completely agree.
it's not even close.
That's not even a great question at all.
That's what I
What's-
thought. I'm
it's just-
surprised it's been so popular.
Yeah. What's your rationale behind that? Like, what's the,
I reckon if you just get 8 blokes doing drop kicks from either direction, it's going to wear it down. You only just need to. You take
Do you
one
reckon out of
knee
that
out.
100, you'd have to have a couple, a bait, like, so they go at him? Because the gorilla can only focus on a couple of people at once,
Well,
right?
that's it. Yeah.
No,
So
that's
they would
what
go
I-
at the couple of people, so they'd have to have a couple that are willing to take the first couple of hits,
Yeah.
or then everyone comes from the side and attacks him.
There's some brave souls that are taking the first couple of blows.
Yeah.
Because that gorilla's coming out swinging. But if as long as you get the gorilla's knee,
So what
it's
number?
game over.
Do you reckon 20 humans versus one
Oh, where's the
gorilla?
tipping point?
Yeah.
Okay, where's the line? I'll say 28 and a half, yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't be more than 30.
Good. We got to the bottom of that.
Strange question.
I love hypotheticals.
And then the other thing we were talking about that has been a big footy talking point this week has been Bailey Smith's reaction post-game after they had their win. Of course, Geelong knocking off Collingwood in that thriller. Unbelievable game, just quietly. Jack Crisp missing what would have been a fairy tale.
We were just off the plane, so we landed back from Adelaide, and I reckon a few boys must have had up on their phone or just saw it in the video, and you couldn't script that.
Oh, I mean, the only better ending to the script was if he jailed it, which
it was almost too good to be true.
It was too good to be true.
Yeah.
I actually was just like, this is a piss take.
There was a couple of the Collingwood boys on the bench, and they were just like nearly as in like shocked that that was like that could happen. Like,
can you believe that he's found himself on the end of this?
Incredible.
So then Bailey Smith spoke after the game to the media, and then we'll also hear his former captain Marcus Bontempelli's reaction to Bailey Smith the next day on Sunrise.
How good's it? 82,000 versus Collingwood on a Saturday night at the G. How good's that?
It's beautiful, mate. Not getting that at Ballarat. So,
I mean, it's nice to know, you know, we're still on Bailey's mind. You know, he's still thinking about us, even at another team. And, you know, in the end, there's probably a few less people down in Ballarat for him to flip the bird to. So maybe that's why he's a little bit disappointed. But it makes round 11 even more interesting, which I think we'll all be looking forward to.
Bit of spice. We can all agree that's good, can't we?
Oh, I don't think there's nothing sinister in that at all.
No.
I
I completely agree, yeah.
Would you be disappointed if a teammate started, stirring the pot like that?
I think, as we said, like it just creates a bit of theatre. Like, who knows the context behind it? And I'm sure there's good relationships on both parties still, and a little bit of fun that creates a bit more theatre for when they play each other later in the year. I don't think there's any sinister in it at all.
No, totally.
Bit of fun, bit of lightheartedness, like not bad.
No,
not getting that in Ballarat, and also not getting it in Geelong, which is another point that Bailey's missed. Doesn't it? It's a Collingwood game. Twinners and losers.
Ben and Harry's.
I'm so excited for this.
Winners
Birds often think I'm a tree.
and losers.
Mandarins. I just love him. Mandarins at the moment. I'll go first.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
You've gone to grab the fresh ball out of the box.
Yeah,
I was going to choose the rock.
Choosing the rock.
Already got it. For all the Squid Game fans out there, the trailer of season 3 has been released.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and breaking news.
Wow.
Yeah, breaking news. It must have just been announced like a couple of hours ago. So it was
fresh.
timely.
That's good.
And I think it's June 27th is when season 3
This
is
year?
officially out. Yeah.
Oh my
They've
God.
moved quick, haven't they?
So 6 weeks or so.
Not really much happened in season 2, did it?
No, well, apparently
heaps happened.
No, not a heap to finish though. It wasn't like
No, I know what you mean. So apparently they filmed season 2 and 3 collectively, and they were going to put it in one big season, but then they decided to split it down the middle because, to
it wasn't
create, interest.
Yeah.
But they filmed it all apparently like back when they released season 2. So can't wait for that though.
That final episode was chaos.
Yeah, but it didn't have a result, like an ending.
There was no resolution.
You got about halfway through, and you're like, there's a lot to play out.
True. It felt like the halfway point of a season.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was much fun. Exciting.
Good one.
Yep.
Well, on the TV movie kind of theme, mine was, it's a little bit of a both, loser but a twinner as well. So this time last week.
Can we...
Are we banning those?
No, but I think the last 5 Twinners, Harry's had a TV theme. Is that fair?
Last week I said Ted Lasso. The week before you said Ted Lasso.
No, but I reckon the 2 weeks before that, I reckon you've been... No. You said White Lotus. Like, there's been a few.
Anyway. So this time last week...
Because we've banned traffic.
Yeah.
It's almost...
Are we banning TV?
We're banning TV. I'm going back to traffic. This time last week, we were walking out of the podcast and just chatting about what we're doing that evening. I told Rollo that Maddie and I, my partner, were going to watch the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yeah.
On Monday night. And Rollo was like, "Oh, is that the premiere?" I was like, No, just like just at Hoyt's. He's like, "Oh, that's strange because I'm going to like the premiere tomorrow."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe it's a late premiere or something. I'm not sure what's going on." Because then I showed you the tickets and it was like a legit.
It just looked like you'd bought the tickets on the website. Yeah.
Anyway, so we go to the cinemas and go to kind of show you tickets or find the movie. And I'd booked for the Wednesday night instead of the Monday night, so I was 2 days late. So it was you actually were at the premiere.
Oh wow!
So I'd made a bit of a stuff up. Yeah.
But you went to the cinema.
Yeah, we got to the cinemas and I checked the tickets again. It was for Wednesday night. So.
Oh, that's a nightmare. Did you watch
Nightmare.
anything else?
No, we just turned around.
Just went home.
We got dinner, but it was all right. And then, but anyway, the twinner was, we went back on Wednesday night, and it was a really good movie.
It was really good.
Yeah. So maybe it was nearly better because you had a bit more anticipation for it.
It's like Squid Game. They split it up.
Did you like it?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
One of the boys was saying yesterday that it's currently the second best Marvel movie of all time.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No,
What was the movie? Sorry,
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
And they've revealed today, I think, that the new title is The New Avengers, which they do at the end of the movie. It's like a bit of a spoiler, but anyway, apologies if that spoils it for you, but I think they're doing it publicly. I saw Jack Crisp and Brody Myercheck at the premiere as well.
Oh, cool.
And MJ was there, and we were saying congratulations to Jack Crisp for breaking the consecutive premiere streak, because he turns up to every
the
single
premiere
one.
streak.
I think he's been to every premiere since 2016.
That could be the secret recipe.
It's unbelievable. We were saying, unless Jim Steins went between 88 and 96, I reckon
that record as well. Yeah.
Crispy's got him covered.
Yeah, not bad.
Losers?
No, I
mean, that was yours.
I don't really have a heap, to be honest. Maybe it's getting a bit colder in the mornings. A bit hard to get up, but
it's 25 today.
Yeah, today is an outlier, but
yesterday was 23.
I'm just saying, it is getting
tomorrow's
to that.
22.
I had a moment the other day where I was like, oh, it's getting cold now.
Yeah, I had that moment as well.
But to be honest, we're nearly halfway through the year, and the weather's still really good.
Warm.
Yeah. But I've had that moment, so that was my loser. Yeah.
No, I like it.
Yeah. See how he always mocks me before? Like it's just like I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Rollo?
Not really. No. I don't know. If people aren't here for mine.
Well, you're part of the show, mate.
Yeah. I've started journaling, if that counts. Nice. Do you guys do any journaling? A lot of footy players.
Yeah. Yep. I do. Yeah.
But
in terms of like at night, you just recap your day, or
honestly, just like a shopping list of what I did today to try and remember.
Yeah.
And reflect.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. No, that's good.
We'll see how it goes.
Good anyway. That's good.
Questions. Charleze,
Melbourne. What is your favourite protein? Harry, and go Blues.
Terrific question.
Don't you answer, Ben?
I'm not appreciating this. It may as well just be the And Harry podcast.
Yeah, you had some questions earlier.
Yeah, but I just don't like the tone of Charleze. But anyway.
What's wrong with the tone there? She's asking this question to me.
On, you know.
I heard it.
Yeah, it was like that. I don't know her name. I can't remember her name from last week.
Oh, yeah.
It was similar.
Someone potted
similar.
then.
Yeah.
Didn't mind it.
You wouldn't know because you don't go through it, but anyway.
And Charleze, she like sucked you in to make you think that it was going to be a question for both of you, and then just no.
Well,
it's got on our run sheet here. Harry's favourite.
What is Harry's favourite protein? Is
anyway,
great question. Protein from a meat point of view, are probably chicken.
Yep,
chicken's just like it's a great all round winner. Can't go wrong with chicken. In terms of maybe a protein powder flavour, more of like a vanilla, probably
nice
flavour guy.
How much of that are you drinking, both of you? Oh no, actually, you're not allowed.
I'm not allowed to answer, mate.
Why is Ben not allowed to answer?
It was Charleze's question.
Oh, sorry. I thought
Have you been living under a rock last?
No, I thought that was something else.
How much? Is it after every session?
Most sessions we have like a protein. Yeah. Our dietitian makes like a protein smoothie, and then after gym sometimes.
Yeah, there's like I think it's INC, like a protein bar if there's no protein, or either a few options. Yep. So
you're never sick of the taste?
No, it's just more about the actual nutritional value.
It's getting the protein in.
That's right.
Nice.
Yep.
Now, we were talking about this before. Sometimes the way MJ spells the names, I don't know.
So let's play it first, and then
I'm just going to say this question's from Jazalle.
Jazalle Baxter.
Oh, no,
that was pretty good.
Victoria. My question for Harry Mackay is: who's the most winners?
I'm gonna walk out.
And why? Go Blues.
And she specified Harry Mackay.
Definitely not.
Thanks for that clarification.
Thanks, Jazalle.
Funniest teammate is what she was asking, which is a great question.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be you, would it?
No.
We can agree on that.
Probably I'd have to say Matt Cottrell is probably the funniest, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, you wouldn't, if he was in a room now, you wouldn't say he's funny, but like when you get to know him, he's very witty and he's dry sense of humour, and he's quite clever with some of his little gags and stuff he plays. So he's pretty funny.
Yeah, nice. Are you willing to answer, Ben?
No, well, I didn't get it.
What if I ask you?
You can ask.
Who's your funniest teammate?
We used to have Nick Hind, but he's obviously moved on.
Oh, you've said him before, yeah.
I'd say probably similar to Harry, like a Jordan Ridley. Like,
yeah,
he's like my type of humor. Again, if he was here, you probably wouldn't think, oh, he's like hilarious. But like the in jokes, the type of humor he has,
bit of dryness.
Yeah. He's very funny. He's a very funny guy. So similar to Harry.
That's good. I wouldn't have picked.
Yeah.
Jordan really is a funny guy.
Yeah.
This is from Joel, one of our favourites.
How you going, boys? Joel from Carisbrook. Welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well and healthy.
Thanks, man.
Question for the both here. Have you guys ever had your own Michael Jordan moment where you goes, and I took that personally, on or off the footy field? Go Baggies.
You know what he's referring to in the Last Dance? I can't remember the moment now, but it's like
someone talking about the glove.
Was it like he didn't get MVP one year or something, and so I took that personally, and then he goes out and dominates.
There was one. It was my fourth game and fifth game or whatever it was up in the hub, and I was playing. We were playing against Port Adelaide, and I was playing on Charlie Dixon. And I remember I didn't know this until post game, but 7 AFL posted. They had a photo of me running down to Charlie Dixon before the game, and that was like, well, Charlie's going to kick 10 or something tonight, and I think he kicked 1 or something, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, and you remembered it?
Yeah, I remember that.
What did the post say?
You could probably find it. I think it was like, how many for Dixon tonight, like 5 plus 10, or whatever, something along those lines.
Like a poll,
something
that
like
you could vote on.
I don't know if it was a poll, but it was, it was a bit of a shot.
Well, and then the comment section was full of people predicting how many goals.
No idea. I just saw someone send it to me or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, well, bad luck. It wasn't. He only kicked 1 or 2.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah,
because I often wonder if those things, because like as a fan, sometimes if I see something that just like really irks me, I'm like, oh god, I want to win this game now, and I'm not even out there.
Yeah, obviously I didn't see it until post game, but I was like, well, bad luck. Yeah, Harry?
That's fair. No, I can't actually think of too many. No, yours was good. Maybe a bit more notice. I can have a think, but
we got the rundown sheet 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I didn't read. I wasn't reading every question.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's so fair. I had time to think of
I'm not going to make one up. Roll, have you ever had one of those?
What's your MJ moment?
And finally from Kristian.
Hi boys, this is Kristian from Brisbane. How long does it actually take you to leave the stadium post-game? Go Blues.
Great question.
Great question.
So
first of all, I think we've been through it before. Where are we parking? Say it's the MCG.
Well, there's a communal car park at the MCG.
As in, are you in Yarra Park? Are you in the?
Yeah, you got to walk over.
Are you?
No.
Communal's in both teams are parked in the same little bay.
Oh, is this attached to Punt Road?
No, it's under the ground.
So you're underneath.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You made that confusing, Ben.
No, I didn't.
I just said I know there's another, but it's not huge. So every player's under there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're playing 22 plus a couple of coaches.
Yeah.
Opposition don't. Away team doesn't.
Yeah, everyone's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. At Marvel, you're in 2 completely different areas, but at the G, you share the same car park. Yeah.
It is very confusing if you haven't played there before. Like I remember when I first started playing, I think it was all right because if you got a lift from someone when you weren't playing, you kind of half remembered it. But you're very stressed about like the car park and where to park, and especially at Marvel. Like
Marvel's a nightmare.
If you take the wrong turn
Marvel.
or something, it's like a maze to find where to walk in. The G's easier.
So easy. Yeah.
I reckon I've been lost at Marvel for about an hour and 20 minutes trying to find my car. At the end.
Yeah.
So at the G, so this is off Brunton Avenue.
Yeah.
Correct. Turn left in there.
Heavy security there. You've got your pass.
Yep. You get players and staff get a ticket for a car park pass / ticket that only 22 plus a few staff get.
Yep.
But post game, obviously after you either sing the song or you lose, you normally see your family.
Yeah.
You might see mum and dad and Taylor for 10 minutes or so. We're pretty unstructured, so we have a meeting, say 25 minutes after we first walk in, and then you normally get a flush massage and then do the ice bars and stuff, and then most guys were like just to take a breath and debrief the game, have something to eat, have your burger or whatever's there and a protein shake, and just chew the fat a bit after a game. But I'm going to say about an hour-ish, somewhere between an hour and 90 minutes.
So you've walked off the ground, you're into the room, straight into the song.
Yep.
And then you've got
you after win, that's the best part. So it's like 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes of everyone's just chit-chatting. You're getting around the coaches. You're seeing some of the other boys that didn't play. You're chatting with the boys who did play.
Yeah.
If you have a win, like there's always media in the room, so you have to do some media stuff.
Well, that's it. There's
immediate
requirement.
That's straight away.
The next 15 minutes, I think, you're required.
But that's
to do.
that's a fun little some boys go off into the change rooms, or some boys go see the family. So that's a little bit of just
15
whatever.
to half an hour. That's that first half an hour. Yeah.
And then kind of rolls into the team meeting, or it does depend kind of what weeks can be a bit different. But
what's the time range for that team meeting? Usually, can that be over in 2 minutes, or is that always going to be
5 minutes?
Oh, okay, so it's pretty quick.
10 depends.
Depends it's rarely longer than 10.
They're not,
No, they're nothing.
And usually that's like after a good win. That's quite fun as well. It's pumping up the things we did well. A few shout outs.
Played your roles.
Yeah. Enjoy the day off. We'll come in, review it tomorrow, and move on.
Yeah.
I think.
And then
and from then you're just free to go.
Yeah, like we
do recovery, jump in the ice bath.
We get a massage, just a flash rub, and then you sort of in the locker room. I'd like to debrief a little bit more, and as I said, have something to eat. So
it'd be a good 90. So when the final siren goes, 90 minutes to 2 hours, I reckon.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah.
So traffic's never an issue then.
Sometimes it can be, but
if you leave on the earlier side of that,
because some boys are like get out of there straight away, like a dress, showered before we have. So the meeting might be 20 minutes.
Is there someone?
The Kerno boys, Charlie and Ed, were always pretty quick to
straight out.
Yeah, some that's like they might have family that they want to go see straight after, or
do recovery at home.
But for me, I'm just like I just need half an hour just to
I'm the same.
Chill out and just take a breath.
We normally weigh out as well, so we have we weigh in before the game, weigh out, so that it sort of dictates how much fluid you need across the next few hours, all that sort of stuff. But
I was at the Union in Richmond on Swan Street watching the Carlton Geelong game recently, and then I reckon 90 minutes later, Charlie Curnow walked in after playing, and I was like, "That is a quick turnaround." And he must have walked up,
walked over
to have a bit of dinner.
Yeah,
so, he must be a quick exit.
Charlie, moves quick.
Moves quick.
On and off the field,
in and out.
Yeah, but everyone's a bit different. So
but
I reckon
an hour to 2 hours, I reckon. Yeah,
always probably one of the last to leave.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, soak it all in.
Yeah, agreed.
Too much the annoyance of Maddie or probably Taylor.
She's like, this is a good one. I know it's been gone for ages here, but we played Thursday night and Taylor was working on the Friday, and she was getting a little bit frustrated that I was taking so long. So because we take it an hour or 2 hours, it was already midnight or whatever, and she wanted to get home and get to sleep, and because she had to get up the next day. So
fair enough, probably
partners get a bit annoyed, but
which is
part of it. Yeah.
If everyone else has left.
Yeah. Oh, no. Not
like just sitting there.
They're waiting for you to close the doors.
Hurry up, mate.
Janitor comes in.
Mate, you're done, aren't you?
Very good.
Nice one. Friday is when you'll be playing Harry against the Saints.
Saturday. Ben Saturday, yep.
Ben Saturday.
Correct.
Both in Melbourne.
TikTok. Same handle still.
Which is?
At Ben and Harry Podcast.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed for 3 years, but yep.
Well, hey, we might have a first time listener.
A debutant.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
why
not liking
I said
this energy. That's why the Grinch.
Grinch.
Yeah. Grinch.
Please send us a DM. We would love to.
Good.
DM, leave us a review on Apple, hit the bell on Spotify, whatever that does.
Maybe if you've got a hypothetical that you have and we can discuss next show, I reckon that's a good idea.
Great idea. We love them.
We love the hypothetical. Joel's normally pretty good at that, but
yeah.
Hypothetical, like what's your favourite fruit? Like, is it a mandarin? Something like that.
No, it's more like if you ate 100, how many mandarins would it take to kill you?
Or how many mandarins would you have to eat for it to be your twinner? Something like that.
We've lost the plot here.
All right, let's go.
Get out of here.
They're trying to get us out of here.
We're literally waiting for the janitors. It's like Ben after the match.